You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Vegas After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Vegas After Show.
Good evening, AfterBuzzers.
Yeah.
Yes. Bing is for doing. And tonight, we're doing Vegas, Season 1, Episode 9 of CBS's Vegas. Episode 9 is called Masquerade. I'm your host, Thaddeus Massey, and joining me this evening is the incomparable,
the one and only Nick Perdue.
That's what's up. Alex Salem couldn't be with us tonight, and neither could Bam Erickson. They are superstars, and they're both on set shooting.
They're greatly
and we're
missed.
superstars as well, because we're on set shooting. So, let's get into it.
Let's do it. Masquerade.
Episode 9, Masquerade. I mean, this episode was, I don't want to call it what Steve called it. Steve called it a filler episode. It kind of was.
A little bit.
A little bit. But, you know, let's go ahead and jump into the episode. It was another whodunit.
Yes.
And we started off with this girl who was part of the...
Like a dance show. Like a burlesque type.
Well, it was a Vegas. It was a Vegas. It was a Vegas.
She was a showgirl.
She was a Vegas showgirl. She was rehearsing afterwards.
Yeah.
And
Black swanning it.
Black
Swan
and the white swanning it.
Yeah.
And she was caught up after.
To say the least.
To say the least. She
hemmed up and all that.
She got hemmed up and everything. She got strangled, which was unfortunate.
Yeah.
For her.
Yeah.
After the
her extended
quote
practice.
unquote rehearsal / extended practice, exactly. So she went on to rehearse, and then she tried to get out of there,
and she couldn't. Doors were locked.
Much to our chagrin, because she was a beautiful girl. She got strangled. She couldn't get out of the doors. The third door that she tried to get to, she got strangled. Someone nabbed her from behind, and now we have to call on our reliable Ralph Lamb.
The Lambs.
And Jack Lamb. Ralph Lamb, Jack Lamb, and Dixon, whenever it makes sense for us to call on Dixon.
Yes.
Since if you need somebody to seduce for information, because that seems to be what Dixon is best at, seducing females.
As any red-blooded young American male.
Exactly.
Right.
As long as they're not married, which he sometimes seems to get himself caught up with married women.
Now, whose fault is that?
Well, not sometimes. That's just showed that he was the ladies' man. He did that in the first episode. I think that was just established that he was part of the ladies. He was a ladies' man. But anyway, the singer was killed. So we've got Jack and Ralph trying to figure out who this killer is.
Yes. Now let's kind of just jump right into it. And so when they get there, and I really think that they filmed this at Belasco Theater in downtown Los Angeles. I really think so. You know, because here's the thing. I was noticing like the subtle nuances, and I was like, that kind of looks like Belasco. So we'll see. I'll do some research.
It did kind of look like Belasco. You're actually right about that. I mean, you're right about how it looked. I don't know if it was Belasco or not.
I don't know if it was, but it could have been modeled after Belasco.
It could have been right downtown in downtown Los Angeles. In fact, they do shoot a lot of the ranch scenes in Santa Clarita.
Yeah, so it is a local-based show.
Right.
So, but you see, Ralph was there interviewing basically or interrogating people who worked at the theater, and the director of the musical, you know, was like, "Yo, we need to get this thing, you know, like fixed already because I got a show to produce."
Right.
You know, and then so he said a couple things that led you to believe that he could have been the killer.
Well, yes, he did. He did say a couple of things that led you to believe that he could be the killer. But at the same time, I wasn't struck. And probably because I'm so, like, I know the formula of writing, script writing, whatever, blah, 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 blah. It just didn't appear to me. It didn't. I was like, okay, they got to vet somebody out in the beginning and make it seem like
so he was
potential.
He was the right turn.
He was the right turn. Yeah. I was like, okay, let's make it seem like it's this pudgy-wudgy, whatever this guy is.
Yeah.
He was actually the set director, I guess. He was
I think
the director, the show director.
Yeah.
And they tried to make it seem like it was him at first. And he was like, yeah, no cigar, nice try. Based on how his answers were, based on his, he could see where they were going with it. It just wasn't going to work. So they had to lengthen their investigation. They actually had to dig a little deeper and go from there. They even got information from the victim's father.
Yes, they did. But who got the information from the victim's father?
Now, this is interesting. Now, let's talk about, and we didn't put it on the note board, but Carrie-Anne Moss. Carrie-Anne
Welcome
Moss.
to the show.
Welcome to the show, Carrie-Anne. Yes. Welcome, Trinity.
Yes, it is good to see her face in more than two scenes.
Good to see her face. She is beautiful.
Beautiful eyes, the great cheekbone.
We loved doing Models Inc. back in the 90s. Nick doesn't know about, but I remember it lasted like 2 episodes. I can't remember. It doesn't matter because you were hot. And you were hot. And then you are hot.
Yes.
You're hot.
Yes.
Carrie-Anne Moss. And you're very talented. You're not just hot, you're talented. That's what makes you hot. That's what makes you like, ooh. So that's what makes you all that. So Carrie-Anne Moss. But you were like, we loved your involvement in this episode a lot more. Yeah. So yeah, go ahead, Nick.
So she was actually kind of taking the initiative. And we found out why she was so entrenched and involved in this case because, you know, she has had some prior instances to where a friend of her, was it a friend or was it a sister?
It was actually her friend.
Okay.
It was like a BFF at the time.
So
like she was a teenager.
Her sister-like friend suffered the same fate as this dancer, and the dancer was murdered as well as raped too.
Exactly.
So you know this kind of hit close to home for you know the ADA's character for Carrie-Anne Moss, and so
Catherine's the character. ADA Catherine, yeah.
So she took it upon herself to really bring the justice and do her ADA duties and really kind of, I think she went a little above and beyond the call of duty, to really kind of help push this investigation along because I know she wanted to really see this guy get what he has coming.
Right. Well, I mean, as we saw, you really get to appreciate the fact that she's even there. And if nothing would have come of her own personal investigation and her own personal investment based on her own history with rape and whatnot, then it probably wouldn't have meant so much if it had not led to something. Yeah, it obviously led to something, as we saw in the episode, and it meant. I'm saying the same thing, but it's not just that it meant something. It's the fact that it actually led to something. Her instincts were correct, which is why she's the ADA.
Women's intuition.
Right. Yeah. Now, actually, one thing that stuck out to me was the fact that although all this was going on, where was the DA? The shady DA. Where is this guy?
Good question.
The shady guy that's supposed to be trying to get in Mia's pants. Yeah. Where is this guy?
I have no idea.
That took Mia on a date. Remember he took me on a date to Shore the City or whatever, and then Jack, that one episode, Jack was like, "Oh, you're going on a date with this guy?" She's like, "Look, he's just taking me to see. It means nothing. Pretty much, it means nothing. Whatever." This guy is not in the episode. The ADA. I think that. This guy we have to bring him back,
kind of figure out
what his deal is, and then figure out a way to off him for good. Because the fact that she has a superior, the fact that she has a superior, the only person that's a superior is the mayor right now. And then we can talk about the mayor.
This new mayor-elect.
This new mayor-elect that Ralph Lamb made evident that, dude, we haven't had the inauguration ceremony yet.
Welcome to Vegas.
Oh, welcome to Vegas. You're not the mayor yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so, dude, don't get beside yourself, because I'm still the sheriff. And I will throw your butt in jail kind of thing. That was kind of like, he made it seem like, but the mayor wanted to make it clear that, like, look, I'm the mayor, I'm my own man, and don't think that they are pulling my strings. I'm my own man, which was kind of what he was. Well, that's actually what he said. He said to Lamb at the sheriff's station, like, I'm my own man and I pull my own strings. No, don't think that the Savino and those guys are the ones that are just controlling everything. I have my own mind, and I'm
so basically it's like, I'm not paid off, or I'm not like, I still have ethics and morals right now. But when the rubber meets the road,
right now.
Yeah, because
I don't think he meant right now. That's what we're saying. Now.
He didn't mean right now. But listen, I know politics as well as he knows politics. And
no, he's a dry cleaner. Remember?
Exactly.
And who said that?
So I know politics as much as he knows politics.
The ADA said that, right? Catherine. She said he's a dry. Who's that mentioned that this guy's a dry? Oh, I think it was Lamb. He was like, he's a dry cleaner.
Yeah.
Who became mayor. So, dude, like,
well, no, see, but
you're a business guy. You're not a politician who you just have some ideas about changing some things around the city. You got another thing coming. You have a lot to learn about what's really going on around here.
What I think it is that he has to he thinks he has these big britches to fill. So he has to I think he's trying to overcompensate for what he doesn't know. And so he's kind of like, this is the way it's gonna be done, and this is like I'm gonna keep the tried and true and yada yada yada, and I'm not gonna veer off, and money's not gonna deter me yet, because we saw we saw what a briefcase of $1 million looks like as
oh my gosh, we'll talk about that
out. So I mean that's enough to to kind of sway a couple things in your favor when need be, and because Savino was the one who helped him get elected,
right?
You know what I mean? So essentially, the mayor is indebted to Savino.
He technically he is, but I don't think he sees it that way.
No, he doesn't see it that way.
And I think that something is going to happen where Savino is going to have to let him know.
Yeah.
He's going to have to inform him that he's indebted to him.
Hey, brother,
let me tell you something. You are indebted to me.
Let me hide you for a minute.
He's going to be like, wait a minute. What are you talking about?
Let's take a ride.
And then he's going to say, look, this A, B, C, and D is why you're indebted to me and why you're the mayor.
Yeah.
And then he's going to look at him and go, shit just got real.
And you know what else just got real? If you're watching this right now live on Ustream, make sure you go to iTunes and definitely check out the Vegas podcast. Check out the AfterBuzz podcast and all of your favorite shows that are on AfterBuzz. And rate, comment, and subscribe. Tell your friends, tweet about it, put it on Facebook, all that, LinkedIn, all that good stuff. Let them know. Let us know. Leave comments. And again, all the good comments we will go through and we will read them. We will shout you out. If there's bad comments, we'll kind of fish over that. But go ahead and do that, and just kind of let us know what you think. Let us know what you guys think is going to happen. Let us know your predictions and all that. So just kind of because that adds to the conversation that we're having.
Also, if you guys want to comment live while we are actually streaming, you guys can call us here in the studio. The number is 424-256-1729, like Sir Richard Wentworth said in the intro, 424-256-1729, and we are more than happy to field your calls, field your questions, your comments, and interact with you, and let your opinions be known.
Yes.
To the world. Besides going on YouTube, besides going on Twitter, besides going on the website, AfterBuzz.com.
Yeah.
AfterBuzzTV.com. And if you want to follow us on Twitter, it is at AfterBuzzTV. And on YouTube to subscribe, it is AfterBuzz TV.
There you go.
Just so you know. But
$1 million.
$1 million. Let's get to this hick cowboy oil guy. Who know? It seems like he was from Texas.
Honestly, he kind of pulled like a Floyd Mayweather, and he had like the $1 million, because that's my little Vegas reference with Floyd Mayweather. But anyways, so he
it was kind of like that.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah. It was kind of like a Floyd
like him and
Mayweather
50 with all the money.
Yeah, it was kind of like that type of moment, where he was like, yo, I won, and he was like no limit because there was a $500 limit,
right?
And then
they were playing blackjack, right?
They were playing blackjack, okay. Yes. And so Savino walks over, and then so I forgot his name. His name was I'm sorry,
the cowboy.
The cowboy.
You know what? I didn't remember the cowboy's name either. It was really like he came in.
No, because
he was there, and it was like, okay, it's the cowboy guy. They did say it, but I think it was like quick. They didn't like reiterate his name. It was not like him. He said Vinny's name. He kept calling Vinny and Vince. He called him Vince and Vinny, but Vincent never really referred back to the Cowboys name or the oil guy.
They've said it a couple times, and I just
he might have. I just can't remember right now either. But apparently he is a customer that they have catered to before. Yeah. He's come there before. He's been there before, and he's bet big money. Now, when he was at the blackjack table, apparently he was in the whole $60,000.
Yeah, in the first hour.
In the first hour,
which is heavy.
The first hour. So they were like, "Oh my gosh, we're gonna bankroll off this dude because he's $60,000 in the whole first hour."
Yeah.
So, and he likes to play the table. So obviously, they're gonna make some money off of this guy, or at least that's what they're thinking. So I was
thinking the same thing.
Me and Vince go to check on this dude, and he was like, what's the limit? It's like $500. Like I can't do anything with $500.
Exactly.
So you're playing with that George Bush oil money, that
good old boy,
that DWI cocaine money. That I'm gonna be president after my dad money. That's what you're playing with. That I'm taking from Iraq money. So that's what you're playing with. That's what you're playing with. Okay.
Wow.
So I'm sorry. That's my Homeland coming out. If you want to catch us on Homeland, that's Sundays at 8 p.m.
You totally just lost every conservative listener you have.
I just had to throw that in there because I just thought it was funny, and I was kind of branching over to segue into getting the people who like Homeland to watch us on Homeland. Anyway, that was pretty funny. So anyway, okay, so yeah, so this guy wants to play. He wants to make bigger bets.
Yes.
Okay, so he challenges. It kind of like challenges manhood. It's like, look,
a little bit.
I'm a single guy. You guys are a casino. Yeah. Like, I want my bets to be
whatever.
Can you cover?
That's
like,
what it was.
You make it unlimited. Yeah. So even though Vince was like, okay, now he honored it just because it was like, all right, the likelihood of him winning anything is like slim to none. But let me go ahead because he's over here trying to put me on Front Street.
Yeah.
So I basically, let me go ahead and...
He said, okay.
Let me go ahead and grant his unlimited betting wish.
And then what happened? The cards flop.
And then he flop. And what was it? He had 21.
Yeah, no, he had two aces.
No, it was an ace and a...
Yeah, he had two aces, so he had to split. He split the aces. Okay. Then flop, 21, twice.
He had 21.
Twice.
So he was playing two hands.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you split. You play two hands.
Okay, so he played two hands.
Yeah. 21 on one, 21 on the other, straight up. $500,000. So
the likelihood of that is like, oh my God, it's like the numbers of that are crazy. Like
the astronomical.
Right. Okay, so he won $1 million.
He won $1 million. Yeah, because essentially, I know he should have won more, but for TV purposes, he won him because he bet $1 million, so he won another $1 million. Although it's like what your payout is, it's more than what they did on TV.
So really, what he was up 940,000. Right, 940,000. Thanks for helping me with that math.
Wait, did he have 21 or blackjack?
Yeah, blackjack.
Oh, then yeah, you get like 1.5 your bet, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So he won $1 million.
Yeah.
So and he was 60,000 in the hole already. So he won.
Basically,
he was
up
all profit. He was up 900. He was up 940 grand. This guy.
No.
Gets the money.
How does he get his money?
Well, I mean, he gets it stacked into a briefcase.
But no, because like normally when you win, you go to the cage in the casino.
No, but he's a high roller.
He didn't.
But he's not going to do that. He's a high roller.
office.
He's a guest of the hotel. Like they know this guy. He's a normal high roller. He came with this freaking entourage from Texas somewhere, and they probably just came from the Dallas Cowboys practice, and they flew in, and he gambled at the blackjack table.
Even
and he won. Vinny knew who he was. Vincent knew who he was.
The owner when the owner knows who you are, it's a little different as opposed to if you're just like a regular whale.
So they're boys.
So Vincent Savino counts out his cash.
That had to hurt his feelings.
And it hurt mine.
And the thing about it was when they talked about what's Mia's dad's name? Johnny.
John, there you go.
When they talked about Johnny,
I was about to say Steve.
Steve Rizzo. He was our stunt man.
Shout out to Steve Rizzo.
The other week.
Follow him on Twitter.
But the thing about it is when they mentioned Johnny coming into town like within the next week.
The next day.
Was it the next day?
It was the next day.
Okay, yeah. So now Vincent is nervous. And Mia's a little nervous too because she doesn't want any drama.
No.
She's like, I'm enjoying it. And she knows the fact that Vincent couldn't do anything about the situation. It was kind of like she was there the whole time. She was with him, shadowing him, everything. It was like.
Although he didn't have to raise it to unlimited table.
Dude, what are you going to do? You have a customer, you don't want to lose your customer to the dude across the street. And he did threaten, remember, he did threaten to go across the street.
It is a catch-22.
He said such and such across the street.
Binions.
Exactly. Binions.
Which is still a casino today.
Which is still a casino today, a real casino. He had threatened to go across the street and gamble over there.
Yeah.
So what do you do? What do you do?
You got to cater to the customer.
You got to cater to the customer. He went ahead and allowed him to bet unlimited.
$500,000.
So he came up $1 million. Right? And Mia's so fine. Anyway, you know, I missed this episode. I missed the whole Jack pursuing that episode.
He didn't though. Well, yeah.
No, this episode he was into the whodunit with Ralph and Dixon, and there was no
time.
He was working.
Although really quick with the Amy Garcia's character and Dixon, who had a little interaction, because it was nice seeing Amy all over this episode too.
Yeah, she was all over this episode.
It was nice seeing her.
It was good that I was so happy that she was able to make time. You know.
Yeah, with their hectic schedule.
You know, being on Dexter and then having to bounce over to CBS from Showtime lot. You know what I'm saying? It's great to be ambiguous, isn't it? It's dope, isn't it, Amy? It's great to be ethnically ambiguous. You just get to work all the sets.
And also,
I'm going to tweet her right now.
Yeah, tweet her.
Shout out.
You know, it's funny. We're going to probably see you on a Warner Brothers show and then a Fox show.
But also, you guys, make sure you guys check out the interview that Amy Garcia did with AfterBuzz TV. I know she talked about her time on Dexter and her character on Dexter, as well as a couple of key points that she did with the Vegas. So make sure you guys tune in and check out that interview that she did as well.
Amy Garcia.
So yeah, so that was great seeing her. And
what do you think is? I mean, we'll talk about that in predictions, I guess. But something, you know, this whole little thing that's going on, and you can see that something's going to happen with her and Dixon. It's coming up. It's coming up. Something with her and Dixon.
Because there's no tension yet, but I feel that it's building a little bit.
It is building a little bit because she's the kind of girl. They're setting her, you know, her character up where she's the one that doesn't take any mess.
Yeah.
And Dixon is the one who's the playboy who goes around blah blah blah. So they have to get to the point where she locks that down, and he's like, I really want her, and I'm gonna have to put away all my wayward ways with females in order to really lock this down. That'll happen eventually. You know, they're building the characters for that. Now, the character that I missed, and the reason why I missed her, I think, even more, is Vanessa Shaw.
Ah, yeah.
Vanessa Shaw is really a gorgeous lady.
Laura
Savino.
Yeah.
She's a blonde.
Buxom.
And buxom.
A buxom blonde.
How do you spell that? B-U-X-O-M. Buxom. But the thing about her is she looks great on the show. I think she has a classic look.
And she has a very 1960s look. Like the makeup department does a real good job with that.
She has a very classic look. And the thing that made me think about her more this episode is because I went to the video store and I purchased Russell Crowe and Christian Bale's 3:10 to Yuma.
Oh, and she's in that.
And she's in 3:10 to Yuma. Her role's not great, but Russell Crowe plays the villain. Bill Wade. Okay. Whatever his name is, Wade. Okay. He's the bad guy.
Okay.
Right? And she's the one girl that he is interested in and hooks up with him.
Oh.
And she has brown hair. She has regular brown hair, brownish, reddish hair.
So she's not
glamorous.
She's
no, she's not blonde.
Kind of plain Jane a little bit.
Yes. Kind of plain Jane. She used to be a singer. Now she's a bartender who's not so glamorous as she is as Laura Savino in Vegas. Now, the irony behind this character and set in the Western time, which is really funny because it's somewhat Western-ish on Vegas, but although the characters are complete opposites, she is her look. She's just to dote upon Vanessa Shaw. She's gorgeous.
Yeah, she's a very beautiful woman.
She's
very beautiful.
I mean, no makeup,
natural beauty.
She has the hair color.
So incredibly beautiful.
She is. I gotta give it to her. Vanessa Shaw looks great, and I missed her this episode. I really did because I really like the interaction and the effect that her character has with Vincent's character and how it motivates her. They did mention Johnny Rizzo's character. Something happened with Diana, I guess, who was Diana Diamond, the singer. Remember the whole singer thing? Who Vincent had his thing with in Cuba before. Okay, so I guess they're off doing something. Something didn't work out. They mentioned it. Laura, they didn't. I don't even remember them mentioning Laura.
I don't think they mentioned in this episode, no.
But I missed those characters. And I think those characters are very important to the momentum of the show. I think they need to keep Laura involved because as strong of a man as Vinny is, they need to keep his wife involved with him because at the end of the day, she is
his right hand.
She's his right hand, his backbone, and she is going to help him get out of any crack. And she has shown that she is important enough and viable enough to really be the boss behind the boss.
Yeah.
She's like the Hillary Rodham behind the Bill Clinton.
She's definitely an asset, because I know especially back in those times that some men saw their wives as being a liability, but she's definitely an asset to his family life and as well as his business life too. Right. So it's great. It's good.
Right. So I really hope that I get to see her next week. Another thing that I want to bring up as far as the show is concerned is that we didn't get that, Dennis Quaid, he actually made I don't know if it was a character choice on his part or there was a collaboration between him and the producers, the show creators or whatever. He used his regular voice. He wasn't using the he wasn't using the Dark Knight Rises,
Christian Bale.
Right. He wasn't using that voice. He was using the regular voice.
Where's Savino?
Exactly.
Where is he?
Where's Savino?
Where is Savino?
Where is he? He was using a regular voice.
He has a horrible voice.
Yeah, that was horrible. But that's what Dennis was doing, and I really appreciate the fact that he went into a regular voice.
He went very, very rookie voice. It was very, very Disney, very friendly.
He went into a regular voice. I think he could do the character. He can do the character without doing the voice easily. I mean, he did it this episode. I think that
he can still kick ass and take names, but he doesn't have to do it.
He doesn't have to be the dark.
Jason O'Mara, I see you're working with Dennis Quaid again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He didn't have to be Batman with a cowboy hat on. So I really appreciate the fact that he just talked normally.
You know what I appreciated?
What?
I appreciated how first of all, let's just talk about Mia really quick in this episode and just
talk about Mia.
Here's the thing.
Sarah Jones, right? Sarah Jones.
She's
fine.
I am not a fan.
There's hot women on this show.
I am not a fan of women wearing red lipstick, but I'm not just for some reason. I'm just not a fan of that classic red. To me, it just doesn't look appealing. That's just me. But Mia Rizzo, aka Sarah Jones,
yes,
definitely pulls it off.
Yeah,
and I will give her a pass on that. You know, because like she just kind of owns it. You know, like she just her aura and just her sophisticated and just it's just
Well, you see, she only put it on that last scene.
Yeah, but that's all that was needed.
But she wore it on an occasion when she had to seduce the cowboy. Okay, so the cowboy, he wins $1 million and he takes off. They try to get him to stand. They get him to stay in the hotel. They want him to spend money, but he spends very small. Yeah. And it's time for him to go back to whatever Podunk oil refinery town,
ranch or
somewhere in Texas, back to the Bush Ranch, and go back to wherever he was going, making millions, right, with oil. So they go. Apparently, they go. It's raining. They go to the airport.
Come back. Flights are canceled.
The flights are canceled, whatever. He comes back. You can tell he's pissed.
Mad.
Okay, he's mad because he knows the get down. He's come back to the hotel.
And he's a gambler.
He's a gambler, and he knows whatever. He's walking away with a
$1 million
full of
cash.
$1 million.
Tax free.
So he had already asked Vince if he could, look, can I hook up with Mia? Like, hook me up with Mia. He had already inferred, hook me up with Mia.
And then he was also going to be like, and I'll pay for it.
Right. And basically inferred, I'll pay for it.
He basically said, I'll give you this $1 million back.
Right.
If you let me go ahead and do the deal.
Right. And Vince was like, it's not going down like that.
Yeah,
pretty much.
She's not that type of girl.
She's not that type of party.
Yeah.
And little did the cowboy probably know that, look, this is the mob boss's daughter.
Yeah.
Of course, he probably doesn't know that at all. So he's like, everybody has a price, which they do.
Which is true.
I mean, if it was $2 million, you never know. She's probably like, Daddy,
$2 million.
I got the skim off the skim, on the skim, back from the skim of the skim, and a little piece of that as well. So he'd have been like, okay, all right, I know you probably lost your virginity in college, so it was okay.
I was gonna say something, but I'm not gonna say anything. I am not gonna say anything.
No, Johnny's a douchebag, so he probably would do whatever. He'd pimp his daughter out.
You experimented in college.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Exactly. So
what happens?
So Mia,
being the buxom blonde that she is,
being the buxom blonde that she is, gets the oil baron back on the tables.
Yes, she does.
And she's going head to head with him.
Yeah, straight up.
Right.
5-card draw.
5-card draw.
Poker.
Or Texas Hold'em, whatever
they're playing 5-card
draw.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry guys. It was 5-card draw. So
it was 5-card.
They were going head to head, one-on-one, and she had to seduce this guy to put his money back on the table.
$1 million.
And did you see the power? Jay-Z made a song called "The Power of the SSY," and let me tell you something. It's very, 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 very true.
Wars were started
and ended over the SSY, and let me tell you why.
This is a whole different aspect of life.
Exactly. So.
Every baller that can afford it, they cop the best ride.
That's right.
Power of the PU, SSY. Let's have some fun.
It's a problem. And it's very, 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 very strong power for those men who don't know how to control themselves and don't have that kind of leverage.
Raging hormones.
Like myself, Club Thaddeus, Twitter, @Club Thaddeus. Anyway, so Mia gets this guy back on the tables.
Yes, she does.
And
I think the red lipstick has something to do with it too, though.
No, I think she used the red lipstick to make him gamble more. She probably called the room and probably told them Mia Rizzo wants to
she wants to put it on the table.
Right.
That's what they said. Mia Rizzo wants to put it on the table.
Put it on the glass.
But you got to put it on the table
too. Exactly. So she showed up at the table with the red lipstick on, which would entice him to gamble more.
Put his $1 million up.
So Vince shows up
in the middle of this
standoff. It's a standoff. What's going on? And sees whatever's going on, and they're at the height of their showdown.
Yes.
At the table.
Yes.
And the oil tycoon loses his money. And then Vincent asks Mia, "Well, you're like, what are you doing?
Betting with the house money?
You're betting with house money? Like what? Like?"
She says, "Oh no."
She says, "Oh no," and he's like,
That's just for show.
Right. That's just for show. Vincent looks confused, and he's like, "Wait a minute. What did you?" And she said, "What did she say?"
A lady never tells.
A lady never tells. Yo, the power of the SSY. So apparently, she was gambling with her own cookie.
Yeah.
That's pretty brazen.
Very brazen.
But she must have confidence in herself. This girl went to went to Wharton Business School.
Card counting.
She just knows. She's savvy. I mean, she grew up a mob boss's daughter.
Yeah.
She is a made man's daughter.
Yeah.
She grew up, and she's educated on top of that.
She is.
So she has the gangster edge and the education to go with it. And she's freaking gorgeous. She has the package going on.
Although she almost lost. We're just with the. I know she didn't lose, but because she had a pair of 8s.
Yeah, but almost losing in cards is kind of like when Paul Walker was racing Vin Diesel in Fast and Furious, and remember.
All these movie references.
I'm a movie guy. I'm a movie guy. Vin Diesel.
My favorite movie.
Exactly. Vin Diesel beats Paul Walker, and what does Paul Walker gets out of the car and he's like, "Dude, I almost had you." And Vin Diesel's looking at him like,
"Any racer knows."
Yeah, you almost had me. Okay, dude.
You don't win by an inch or win by a mile.
Exactly. It doesn't matter. Like, dude, you lost, bro. It doesn't matter if I beat you by a freaking centimeter. He gets like, I almost had you, bro. Same thing with cards. Almost doesn't mean anything. Because at the end of the day, if you lost, you lost.
But he lost.
I mean, you can go play blackjack, and if you have 20, you're not going to lose less money because the dealer got 21 and you got 20. I got 20. I almost beat you, so only take a percentage of my money. No, your stuff is gone. Your money's gone.
There you go.
Yeah.
So to kind of close this out and kind of wrap up on the episode, how did you think? Like, what did you really think about it? Like did you kind of like this one in comparisons to like the ones that we've watched? Like, how do you think this one kind of stacks up?
It was actually not bad. It was actually kind of a filler episode, and I didn't mind it. The whodunit was kind of like whatever because nothing led back to the Savoy.
It was very short, yeah.
Yeah, so I did have great appreciation for the episode in general. I appreciated what went on in the casino, what was going on with the $1 million betting, with Mia, the cowboy with the $1 million thing.
Yeah.
The whole whodunit thing, it wasn't of interest to me. I had more interest in the fact that Dixon and the ethnically ambiguous girl, Amy Garcia, may hook up, and the fact that Ralph Lamb lost his raspy voice. That was of interest to me on that side.
That was some news.
Right. So let's go to news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Okay, so news and gossip really quickly. Vegas is still number 1 in this time slot.
Still number 1.
For that Tuesday night and
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. Great. Number 1. Michael Chiklis and Dennis Quaid are still holding it down.
Yeah. And on Twitter, because Michael Chiklis has crossed that 70, because he was tweeting tonight. He was live tweeting tonight, and he wanted 77,777 followers, and he actually made that. So he's at like 77,800 and some change now.
Awesome.
And I just read his last tweet, and he said he wants, like, the next goal is 111,000. 111. That's his next follower goal.
His next follower goal. Awesome.
Follow him at Michael Chiklis.
Yo, Michael Chiklis is the bomb. Sarah Jones is the bomb. Dennis Quaid is the bomb. Amy Garcia is the bomb.
Doing great.
Jason O'Mara is the bomb. Steve Rizzo is the bomb. Whenever we see him doing something, some stunt work for Jason O'Mara, the show is dope.
It's good.
The show is good. I have very little notes as far as the show, and it's not anything that is significant as of right now.
Okay.
So
what do you
let's go into predictions and see where we would like the show to go.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Nick Perdue, predictions next week, go.
Basically, I think what I think is gonna happen. Well, first of all, hopefully, like we were talking about earlier, hopefully Laura comes back just for something. I just want to see her in the episode for something, and hopefully as well as Carrie-Anne and Moss. Hopefully she is around more, and maybe her and Dennis Quaid, Jack Lamb.
Right, exactly. So based on what they're showing for next week, it looks like Ralph and Catherine, ADA Catherine, may have something that occurs. They definitely have to have something that occurs. Something has to. They have to have. I mean, he's the lead male. I mean, so Vincent Savino's character has a wife, and he has a love interest that popped up out of the past. Yeah. We have to have something for Ralph Lamb. Yeah. There has to be something that goes further with him and Catherine, the ADA Catherine's character. There has to be something that goes further. I would like to see the DA come back and get whacked. I don't like the fact that he's lingering out there somewhere, and we already know that he's dirty. Also, Jack and Mia have to hook up. At least once. At least once. There has to be something that propels that storyline further because she's developed a strong character. Yeah. And as far as Laura is concerned, she has to come back and she has to play an integral part because her character is so strong, and what she brought to that character, what Vanessa Shaw brought to that character, was very, very, very strong. And it has to continue because of what it does for Vincent Savino's character as his wife, and how it's been written by the writers, Nicholas Pileggi, Greg Walker, and your staff. You guys did a great job of developing that character, and what Vanessa Shaw has done with that and taken it, they have to bring her in. It only makes sense. Yeah, and it's and then she's developing her friendship and relationship with the ADA. So there you go. That's all I have to say. Ever. It is a long prediction, but that's what they have to do, and those are my predictions because I think they're talented enough to do that on CBS. There you go. Thank you guys for joining us. Where can we find you, Nicholas? At the Nick Perdue, all over the internet. And you can find me at Club Thaddeus, and you can find me here, Homeland, 8 p.m. on Sundays. Thanks for joining us. There you go. For another Tuesday night on Vegas, CBS.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.